From Trojan Arena in Troy, Alabama, it's basketball on the men's side as the Troy Trojans take on the Austin Peay Governors. Welcome inside the arena, everybody. With Jerry Miller, I'm Barry McKnight. Troy at 3-3. Austin Peay is at 2-4, Jerry. These are two teams really trying to find themselves, so in that matter, it's important for Troy. A lot of the importance is going to be attached to a young sophomore named Javen Johnson.
Yeah, Javen's going to be key tonight. You're right. These are two teams that are both very athletic. Javen Johnson is a real threat from the outside. He's Troy's best three-point shooter, and he's a matchup problem for Austin Peay because of his size and because of his speed. They will have to defend Javen to have success.
Well, double J for Troy. For Austin Peay, it's double T. Terry Taylor has been astounding this year.
Terry Taylor is one of the most athletic guys you'll ever see. Averages double-double in points and rebounds. 40% of his rebounds are offensive rebounds, so you've got to keep him off the glass to have success. Poured in 27 against Troy last year. He'll be a guy Troy will have to defend to win.
Towards that end, about Taylor's rebounding for Troy, Jerry, I know one of your keys is they've got to keep them off the offensive glass.
No question. If Troy's going to be successful, they've got to limit Austin Peay's offensive rebounds. If you give those guys second chances, they will really put up the points, so Troy's got to be conscious of that on the glass.
Feed the trees? What's that all about?
Well, feeding the post for Troy, I think that's going to be a real key. You've got Jordan Bernardo, you've got Alex Hicks inside. If you can get it in and let those guys two work simultaneously, that's a real matchup problem.
But on the other side, Jerry, for Austin Peay, they've got to be cognizant of Troy's firepower from the outside.
Troy, they will definitely have to defend the perimeter. Troy averages 8.5 threes made per ball game. If they hit at that pace, it'll be a tough night for Austin Peay.
And turnovers, Austin Peay needs to keep the careless ones off of their ledger sheet.
That'll be a real key for the Governors. If they are able to get it up and down the floor without turning it over, limit Troy's offensive possessions, they'll have themselves a real chance to win this ball game.
We're just ready for starting the lineups here. Trojan Arena is a real source of pride for this community. Jerry, you and I have been around, have been to Austin Peay. We've been to a lot of the other schools. This arena compares favorably with any that we've been in at the mid-major level or otherwise. You're about to see the full treatment from the video boards for the starting lineups. This place has turned into a real home court advantage for the Trojans. Austin Peay's going to have a difficult time getting out of here with a victory.
You're right, but Austin Peay has really been a team that's been tested on the road. They've had some close losses on the road. They are a team that has really battled, as Troy has, a very difficult pre-conference schedule. I think both of these teams have been tested already. We should be in for a heck of a matchup tonight, if for no other reason because of the sheer athleticism that both these teams will put on the floor.
It's interesting to note Austin Peay opened at home November the 6th. They've been on the road ever since. They haven't played at home in a month. They'll be back against Alabama A&M on the road before heading back to Clarksville. Meanwhile, for Troy, we mentioned the homestand. This is the final game of a four-game homestand, and they've used it to get well from that early season schedule for the Trojans. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Austin Peay. Here's how it looks. Chris Porter Bunton is a senior out of Bowling Green. Then Jarrett Givens out of guard. Terry Taylor, he's only 6'5", but my gosh, he's everywhere. Steve Harris is a senior guard who does not shoot from the outside. Zach Glotta is another senior guard who does. He has been dynamic with his outside shooting, averaging about 12 points a game. So that's a good group, a very, very athletic bunch. You'll see guys like Dayton Gum off the bench that will really help them out. Meanwhile, for Troy, athleticism-wise, they don't take a backseat to anybody. For the Trojans, you mentioned Javen Johnson keying things. Adams, like Johnson's a sophomore, and then you see three seniors. Those three seniors not only are the crux of this starting lineup, they're really the linchpin of the whole team.
Yeah, no question about it. They bring tremendous leadership. They are bringing a lot of poise, and they've really taken to really mentoring these young players for this Troy team and bringing them along. And you're starting to see this Troy team really find the chemistry that Coach Cunningham is looking for.
Trojans under Phil Cunningham, they do not beat themselves. Troy is one of only 6 teams in the NCAA that's in the top 20 in both fewest turnovers and fewest fouls. They don't turn it over very much. Troy's averaging just 10 turnovers a game. and they don't foul very much at all. They're 7th in the nation in the fewest fouls. Whatever Austin Peay does, if they come out of here with a win, it's because they'll earn it. It will not be given to them. Phil Cunningham is really stressed. Troy not beating Troy.
And pay attention to Troy. A key early for them is being able to hit those shots from outside. If they're able to hit threes, it just helps their game all the way around. It spreads the opponent's defense out a little bit because they've got to extend a little bit and defend the perimeter. So look for Troy to get up some shots early from the perimeter. But I really think their success is going to be taking it inside, letting those two big seniors down low, Bernardo and Hicks, work in tandem.
There you see teams getting ready. Refereeing crew, Bart Lennox, John Hampton, Rusty Phillips. We are set to go. Pull up a chair. Troy versus Austin Peay should be fun. It will be Terry Taylor jumping it up against Hicks. And Austin Peay comes out with Steve Harris to the top to Taylor. Big burly 6'5" post player. Now working the top is Jared Givens. Here's Kawada, the shooter. Guarding him is Adams. He'll dump it now. Taylor works inside against Hicks. And there's going to be a dribble on the baseline. Hicks has size on Taylor at 6'8" versus 6'5", but boy, Taylor is physical and athletic out of the roof.
That was a nice job by Hicks. He kept his leverage, let the baseline be the extra defender, and Taylor did step on the baseline as he crossed under the goal.
Johnson goes to Hicks. Hicks, nice pass down low, but Bernardo defended well, and it's loose. Ahead, Taylor, reverse layup, no, and Hicks gets the rebound. Ahead, Bernardo, a tray on the way, short. Jordan has not been hot this year from outside, just 22%, scoreless so far.
I really think he's better working his game inside out, really establish things in the post, and then take those perimeter shots when they're available.
Lob down to the low post, tapped away by Hicks. It stays with Austin Peay, 19 to shoot.
You see what Coach Matt Figger wants to do on the offensive end. He wants to find Terry Taylor every opportunity. They've had two possessions. Both times they've looked for him on the post.
Here's Galata, catch and shoot. He can really shoot. Missed that one badly. On the deck, it's taken away by Adams, and here comes Troy in a scoreless game. The first minute gone by. B.J. Miller wants to get to Bernardo. Here he is, guarded down low. Nice spin move against Porter Bunton. Trey on the way. Javen Johnson, no. And Bernardo goes over Porter Bunton's back. First foul on Troy's all-conference senior, Bernardo, out of Brownsville, Tennessee. Porter Bunton did a very good job boxing out.
You see the Governors very conscious early in the contest of guarding that post, not letting Bernardo and Hicks really dominate. They're going to force Troy to hit some of those outside shots.
Harris guarded by B.J. Miller, who's such an excellent on-ball defender. Harris will not shoot from the outside. Works in, a little leaner, and he got the roll over Bernardo. Steve Harris gets the first bucket of the ball game in an early lead.
He's a very experienced senior on that Governor team, and you see him there. Knowing they needed a bucket, really slowed the pace down a little bit and got a good look.
Here's Javen Johnson, mid-range baseline jumper. Offensive rebound, Bernardo hard to the basket to tie it up.
Bernardo averages just under 10 rebounds per game, and he's really doing a really good job so far this year on the offensive glass. You see him get an offensive rebound and put back there.
Off of a screen, here's Givens. A little teardrop rolls off. Who touched it last? They're going to check, talk it over. It stays with a Govs on the baseline in forecourt. 2 minutes in, and each team has a bucket. We've got to wait for a moment while Chris Porter Bunton reties his shoe. He lost it going up. Austin Peay on a 2-game losing streak. They have yet to ever lose 3 in a row under head coach Matt Figger in his second year. Inbounds to Porter Bunton. Zach Galata. Now Harris against Miller. 15-foot jumper, banks it off the window. Harris has both Austin Peay baskets.
There's where he used his height advantage at 6'4". He was just able to elevate a little taller than B.J. Miller, who had him guarded closely, but Harris is able to get the shot up and over.
Miller has an angle to the bucket. Skip pass to Javen Johnson. Now Bernardo open for a tray. Yes, good ball movement.
It was, and the extra pass there by Johnson got Bernardo a really squared up look, and if he can do that, he'll hit a high percentage.
First lead for Troy. Dump down goes to Terry Taylor against Hicks. Here comes the double team. Back to Glotta, open from 3. That'll be key for them. If Troy slides down to try to double team Taylor, that'll leave Glotta open and he can kill you.
51% from three-point range, 19 of 36 now. Glotta's a real weapon out there, and I think that's why he draws the start here.
Johnson, Hicks, mid-range jumper, in and out. Nice box out for Jarrett Givens. Grad student out of Tempe, Arizona, bringing it up court himself. Now Porter Bunton tries to step through. Glotta against Darian Adams. Taylor faces up. Left-handed jumper is an air ball. Collected by Adams. 3-on-3. Adams crosses over against Glotta and will go to the free throw line, I think. Foul against Steve Harris. The first for Austin Peay.
Troy didn't really have numbers there, but they had leverage. They were 3-on-3, and look for them to push the pace when they can do that in that situation, just to not allow the Governors to get back and set up in that half-court defense.
There's Matt Figger, Austin Peay head coach in his second year. 2 games over 500 so far. He'll make an interesting move here. He'll bring the 7-footer in right now for Porter Bunton. So they sub out 6'5", and they bring in 7-footer Ivan Chuchek out of Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, to add some size. Adams hits. Couple of free throws for Darian Adams. Tied at 7. Trojans press. They beat it easily. Here's Harris to the bucket against Adams. Double pump shot, and the roll favors him.
Well, Harris has really attacked the glass so far, hasn't he? He is getting to the boards with that dribble drive. And he's got 6 points to show for it.
Only Glotta has scored otherwise. Miller inside, drives, dishes. Quickly inside, Bernardo trying to find Hicks, but Chuchek deflects it out of bounds. 15:44, first half. Appalachian State on the road leads by a deuce here at Troy. Austin Peay. I've got a mental block. We did a football game involving Appalachian State last weekend. My apologies. Austin Peay 9 and Troy 7. But Trojans have the basketball out of the timeout. 14 seconds to shoot for Darian Adams. Lob goes into B.J. Miller, and he stepped on the sideline. Not a good decision by Adams to inbound it to Miller right there, right on the edge.
You saw the big man inside, Chuchek, really affect that inbound pass, just his length. It's interesting here. You don't see many mid-major teams that can put 2 7-footers on the floor, but Austin Peay has a couple of them.
Yeah, they got 2. Chuchek is 1. Inside, Bernardo is there to defend the entry pass to Terry Taylor. Here comes Troy, a chance to tie or take the lead here early. Darian Adams works inside against Dayton Gum, who's in the game at a guard. Bernardo misses from 3. Rebounded by Adams. Lots of contact, no whistle. And Chuchek is able to grab it off the deck. Glotta, Chuchek. And here's Jared Givens. Now Dayton Gum in the game. A 6'2" sophomore out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Long 3, Terry Taylor. Well off the mark. Rebound kicks long, and Glotta's open for 3. Oh, boy.
That's that second chance opportunity. You just can't allow the Governors to do that on the offensive glass. They get the rebound, kick it out to Glotta, and he's 2 for 3 out there.
5-point lead. Bernardo against Taylor. That's going to be an interesting matchup if that sticks in the man-to-man. Johnson at the top. Works against Givens. Givens right in his breastbone right there. And Johnson lucky to be able to kick it away to Darian Adams for an open 3. Nope. Rebound kicked long by Hicks. Saves it on the baseline. To Javen Johnson cross court. New shot clock. Johnson to the basket. Layup. Good. Thought he got some contact too. Johnson's first bucket.
That's where we're talking about he's a matchup problem. You have to be so conscious of his ability to shoot from the perimeter. If he puts it on the dribble drive like that, his length is a real tough matchup problem for him.
Lob goes into Chuchek. Trojans collapse on him, and there'll be a held ball. Chuchek at 7 feet. Got the lob pass, and immediately, Jerry, brought it down. Can't do that.
Yeah, if you're a 7-footer, you never want to bring the ball down to let the guys be able to get in and get some hands on it. And that's what happened on that possession.
Both coaches subbing quite a bit. Richard Henderson in, sophomore forward for Austin Peay. For Troy, for the first time, we see Charles Norman at a shooting guard, along with Zay Williams, a freshman post out of Birmingham. Johnson in the shield at midcourt, 20 on the shot clock. He's left open, goes inside. Nice reverse layup to use the bucket as a shield.
I think that's really been an improvement for Javen Johnson's game, to not just settle for the perimeter shot, but take it inside when the opportunity is there.
Lots of contact inside. Dayton Gum. Looks like he hurt his hand. Miller fouls. Take a look at him. Yeah, it looks like he landed on his hand.
I'm showing some real quickness there, really making a quick first step to the bucket as soon as he caught the pass. Miller was just about a half a step behind him, reached in for the foul.
It's a floor foul. 24 to shoot for Austin Peay as the lob goes to midcourt where Taylor, check it, that's Henderson, chases it down. Near side, Chris Porter Bunton. Near side to us, we're across the court from your vantage point. There's a nice steal, B.J. Miller. 1 against 2, watch out, layup good.
Miller leads the team in steals, averages 1.2 per game, and you see him there get the steal in the open floor and then just outrun 2 defenders to the bucket.
He can really run. Inside, Henderson lost it for a moment, spins, and a fall-away jumper is off the back iron. Bernardo with another rebound. Take it up court himself. You see that a lot more in basketball. Finds Johnson, who steps into a tray.
Inside, outside. Johnson right now really causing some problems, and the Governors will take a timeout.
Take another look. Johnson with a three-pointer. And that's a 9-0 run for Troy, who's hit their last 4 shots in the last minute plus to take their biggest lead so far.
Well, that's the dilemma guarding that sophomore. Is the previous 2 times he'd had the ball, he put it on the floor, drove it to the bucket. This time you got to be conscious of that, give yourself a little room to defend that, and he pulls up with that 6-7 frame and drains the 3.
Phil Cunningham, you take a look at him, 6th season as Troy head coach, 3-3 this year. And he's got a team, Jerry, that he thinks is the most athletic that he has had yet at Troy University, and we're seeing signs of that athleticism already this year.
Yeah, when you look at some of the young guys is really what makes a difference. KJ Simon, the freshman, Zay Williams, who we've seen already, another freshman. Those are guys that are extremely athletic to go with those seniors that we talked about, and some of those guys that have some experience even though they're sophomores.
Out of the timeout, Steve Harris has re-entered. He was dynamic early before taking a seat. Jump pass goes to Taylor, who has not been active. They'll work the weave to Harris. Against KJ Simon, the freshman, a little teardrop is good from 14 feet for Harris. He's got 8.
Averages just under 11 a game, and he's been their best weapon, and he's done all of his damage in the paint.
And there's a nice screen by Williams. Simon has his shot blocked. It's tipped up by Porter Bunton. Lead pass comes ahead to Jabari McGee, and there's Harris again, missing a leaner in the lane. Got his own rebound. That's McGee, actually, and he'll go to the free throw line.
They attack the offensive glass. They out-rebound their opponents by about 4 rebounds per game, and as a team, 20% or more of their rebounds are offensive rebounds, and we've seen a couple of those already in this one.
Second foul on Bernardo, and Phil Cunningham's got an early decision to make about his best player. Jabari McGee, 67% free throw shooter, just got in the game. He is a grad transfer out of Western Kentucky. He's from Albany, Georgia. And Devontae Foster has to come in for Bernardo with those 2 fouls. Second shot is missed. Battling for the rebound is McGee. It's off of McGee in front of Javen Johnson, and the Trojans have it. Personnel on the floor for Troy. KJ Simon and Chuck Norman, a couple of first-year players. Devontae Foster, a first-year player. So Zay Williams. Javen Johnson out there as well. Simon, jab steps inside quarter court. Here's Javen, open from a wing 3. In and out. Williams gets the offensive rebound and the stick back. Well done for Zay Williams, a freshman from Parker High School in Birmingham.
6'8", but he's got great length on top of that. We'll see the 3-pointer from Austin Peay go awry, and Trojans trying to save the rebound, cannot.
It will be Austin Peay basketball when we come back. Trojans lead it by 3 in a very energetic game so far. Barry McKnight with Jerry Miller. Jerry, just to look at some of the numbers, very evenly played game so far. Austin Peay shooting 43%, Troy shooting 44%. Each team has 9 rebounds. It's been a well-played game so far.
Troy on a little bit of a roll. They've hit 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts, and that's why they have a 3-point lead.
New shot clock for Galata, and he'll get fouled down low. Nope, he stepped on the baseline. Quick turnover, and Troy's got it back with the lead. Phil Cunningham's buying some time with the youngsters. 4 first-year players, along with Javen Johnson. KJ Simon, a freshman, as is Zay Williams holding the basketball. Popping free is Johnson against Galata, who's only 6 feet tall. Off of a screen, here comes Terry Taylor to defend. Now Chuck Norman, an outside shooter, works inside. Fall away, off-balance shot, no. Wasn't the shot they wanted, and there is Porter Bunton to claim it for the Govs. And there's a traveling violation for Porter Bunton.
Just picked up the dribble and then took a little bunny hop, and that's why the turnover comes. And that's a real thing they have to guard against, particularly careless turnovers in the open floor like we saw there.
They average 14 turnovers a game, Austin Peay, which is not bad. Troy only turns it over 10 times a game. Here's Simon, gets a nice ball screen to the baseline to Johnson. Another nice screen. Baseline Simon, he'll go to the bucket hard, knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. Troy retains the possession with 13 to shoot.
Give the freshman credit. He's really going in amongst the bigs there. That's twice he's been in and been rejected, but he'll maintain possession here. They'll check the clock, I think, here to make sure of the time.
There was 13 to shoot. They have bumped it up to 20.
I don't think one's correct.
I don't think one is. Yeah, 13 is what it was, and now they have reset it there. So there you go. 10:52 in the first half. Simon looking inside. Williams has it blocked away. Nicely done by McGee, but he stepped on the baseline. It stays with Troy. Let's take another look here.
Yeah, you see him catch it deep there on the inbounds pass, but great defense as Austin Peay rotates over and gets the block.
Norman off of a screen. Johnson one-on-one versus McGee. Mid-range jumper is short. Rebound battle. Norman claims it and roots it back out of there. A new possession for Troy, an extra possession. Baseline, Devontae Foster, junior college guy. 18 to shoot for Simon. JUCO player Norman gets fouled on the floor. That's Terry Taylor. And that's number 1 on him. And the second team foul against Austin Peay.
Well, what we're seeing from Austin Peay right now is they've gone to man-to-man, and they're really extending the defense out on the Trojan perimeter. They are just guarding them all the way over the mid-court line. They're on them completely. You see here, Harris out on Simon.
Simon, a wraparound pass, traveled with the basketball on the baseline. P.J. Miller about to come back in. Miller's a senior. Simon's just a freshman. Now, we've seen Miller since he was a freshman. It's a growth process out there.
Trojans will get back to the original starting lineup except for Norman, in for Bernardo, who's got a couple of fouls.
And now
Johnson will sit.
Gibbons comes in for Austin Peay as McGee takes a seat. Likewise, Henderson is back out. Galata has re-entered.
Troy with just some token three-quarter court pressure just to take that shot clock down a little bit. Not aggressive with it at all.
Halfway through the first half, 3-point lead here at home for Troy. Working the weave at the top is Harris against P.J. Miller. Another little teardrop punched out high off the rebound to Alex Hicks. Miller probes that zone defense. Punched out of bounds off the wing. Last touched by Jared Givens.
Alex Hicks on the bench a little bit now. Has had a chance to watch the game. Let's see if Troy tries to flow a little bit of their offense through him with Bernardo in some foul trouble.
He fouled out last year at Austin Peay in 14 minutes at 11 points. Hicks at the top. He can shoot from out there. That one is off the mark. Givens outlets it to Steve Harris. Here come the Govs. This is Porter Bunton to the basket, blocked by Foster. And out of bounds. Porter Bunton Sort of shoves Foster aside just a little bit.
We're seeing quite a battle between these two. You see Foster with him step for step, gets the block, and then lets him know that he made a play.
Harris takes a seat. Dayton Gum back at Zagar. See another angle at that.
Just great position by Devontae Foster to get that one swatted away, and then just a little extra at the end, but the players stay composed.
Inbounds off of Terry Taylor. That's nice. Defense fronting the basketball. Hicks was able to tap it off of Taylor into the Troy bench.
Again, turnover is something we'll be watching for Austin Peay all game long, and they've got 6 already.
Neither team has scored in 2.5 minutes. It's been locked at 18-15 for a while. Miller's going to try to do something about that. Too strong on the layup. Foster keeps it alive, but it's collected by Porter Bunton. Again, weaving. Zach Glotta, their outside shooter out of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Both teams struggling to score a little bit, but I credit that to the opposition's defense.
Porter Bunton leaves a finger roll off the front lip. Here's Norman. Quickly down low, and Hicks misses the dunk. It was a great look for Adams, and Hicks rattled the dunk off the cylinder.
Just a great look in there from Darian Adams, and Alex kicking himself a little bit, caught the back iron, and it would not go.
Porter Bunton trying to tie. Taken by Devontae Foster, who lost his shoe. Troy's working 4-on-5 right now. Foster trying to get reshot, and Troy will turn it over. Ahead to Givens. Norman is right there. Still at 18-15. Neither team has scored in 3.5 minutes. Off a screen. Here's Givens. No. Offensively rebounded by Taylor. Gum gives it a try. No. Miller gets the long board for Troy. Cross courts it to Norman. He's a great shooter. Not this time. Must be something in the air conditioning.
I think both teams are anxious for the media timeout that'll come at the next whistle. They both need a break.
Been over 4 minutes since anybody has changed the 18-15 score. Taylor holds it on a hip. Now here's Glotta. Off of a screen. Givens with a quick shot. 3. Tied it. Jarrett Givens. A 28% three-point shooter. And it's 18 up. Miller and Hicks. Norman, Foster, and Adams offensively for Troy in a tie game.
You see Austin Peay now going back to that zone defense.
Norman trying to shoot over that zone. Front iron, no, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. Looks as though Taylor may have grabbed Foster. If that's the case, Taylor may be headed to the bench for Austin Peay with his second personal foul. It's an interesting juncture as we finally stagger to the under 8 media timeout. 18 apiece here in Troy. Lots of fun here at the arena. 18-18, kind of teetered towards that last timeout. Troy is one of their last 11. Austin Peay is one of their last 9. And this stretch will be interesting. Both of the leading scorers, Terry Taylor and Jordan Bernardo, have 2 fouls.
And both of them will be on the bench as we come out of this break. So going to be interesting to see who can step up in their absence and provide scoring on a night where both teams over the last 5 minutes have found scoring very difficult.
For Troy, new personnel in for the first time. Atakan Sahinkaya, 6'5", freshman from Istanbul, Turkey, along with Spencer Rogers, a good outside shooter, a freshman from Birmingham. Adams controls. Quick screen gets him to the foul line extended. Now B.J. Miller, 20 to shoot. Adams will shoot from 3, in and out. The drought continues. Hicks over Tuchek. Wow.
Hicks looking to atone for that missed dunk. You see him get the offensive rebound, really muscles it up strong and slams it home. That's his first bucket. It comes with 6:35 in the game.
Maybe he's the one. Maybe he's the one to step up for Bernardo. Glotto rattles one out. There is Hicks with a rebound. 20-18 Troy. Baseline Adams against Tuchek. Lots of contact. And the 7-footer will send Adams to the line.
When you've got a big man inside, a lot of times that's the way to go about it. Don't let him push you out of the paint. Really attack the paint And you see Troy there getting it ahead to Darren Adams, and he forced the action and drew the foul.
Adams is strong with the basketball. He's strong anyway. He's got 3 free throws now. Darian, 6'3", 200. Sophomore from Montgomery. 75% as you see on the year. Played last year in the game at Austin Peay. Scored a couple. He already in this one has 4. Troy's lead has matched their largest at 22-18. Actually one off their largest lead. Differing approach here. Austin Peay is slowing things down without Taylor in the lineup. Working out of the half court to Chuchek. Harris against B.J. Miller. Here's a catch and shoot from Porter Bunton. He got it.
It's nice rotation by Austin Peay there. Turned that man-to-man defense over and got Porter Bunton a wide open look to get Austin Peay another bucket.
He had missed his first 3 shots, but he has checked in with 5 rebounds. And here's Miller. Troy up by 3. 3 on the way. As Spencer Rogers, a young freshman. Rogers is out of Buford, Georgia, and he can really shoot the 3-pointer.
Yeah, shot to 31% coming in. He was 4 of 13. The action right in front of us there. Austin Peay maintains possession.
Working the baseline hard is Porter Bunton. And a foul will be called. That's a block foul on Sankaya. Atticus Sankaya, redshirted last year. Went to prep school in Pennsylvania. His home is in Istanbul, Turkey. Hasn't played a lot this year, but trying to get some minutes from him with Bernardo on the bench with fouls.
That will be a floor foul as some substitutions are made, so Austin Peay will inbound it with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Glotta returns in place of Harris. Lob into the 7-footer against Hicks. Dayton Gum against Rogers. Inside, Chuchek has it blocked away. It comes loose. Little stick back is off the mark by McGee. Got his own offensive rebound and will head to the free throw line. Sankaya again, his second. 2 shots coming up. Jabari McGee.
Well, this is their game. I'm talking about the Governors, as they like to get it in the paint and then really pound that offensive glass. They get a couple of extra looks in this possession and end up with free throws here from McGee.
McGee's an interesting story. He began his college career at the University of Tennessee. He's from Albany, Georgia.
He's a graduate guy.
Yep, transferred to Western Kentucky. Now a graduate transfer at Austin Peay. Jabari McGee's got the free throw. He is one of only 21 players in the country that have 3 Division I collegiate stops. Into the game for the Trojans is Zay Williams to get some size in there. Misses the second, and there's Hicks. So Williams at 6'8" and Hicks at 6'8", trying to anchor that defense against McGee at 6'7" and the 7-footer Chuchek. Javen Johnson re-enters against Glotta. High post to Hicks. 16-footer on the way is wide. Williams keeps it alive, but it's collected by Porter Bunton. Troy leads by 3. We come down the stretch. Dumb pass inside. Back to Porter Bunton. Steps into a 3. Williams high with a rebound over Chuchek. Rogers. High post. Zay Williams steps under a ball fake.
Boy, the freshman showed some maturity there. Took the extra dribble just to clear the defense and got a nice 8-foot look.
Rogers defends on the arc. Long 3-pointer for Dayton Gum is wide. Williams gets another rebound. Long lead pass goes to Rogers, and he didn't look it into his hands. He was trying to catch it with one hand, and that usually never leads to a good result. Gum is only quickly in. Now he's quickly back out as Steve Harris returns. Matt Figger and Phil Cunningham both using their bench liberally here in the first half.
I think just because of both teams being so athletic, you've got to get deep into that bench because the intensity level has been there, Barry, by both teams. They're really getting after it on the defensive end.
Head of the key, Chuchek. Chris Porter Bunton. McGee now back to Glotta. Inside, Porter Bunton, a ball fake. Jump hook, good over Javen Johnson. Porter Bunton has a couple of buckets after missing his first 3.
Averages 10 a game, and he's been the guy offensively that they've looked to with Terry Taylor on the bench.
Neither team shooting great. Austin Peay at 33%, Troy at 35%. Rotating around the arc, here's B.J. Miller cutting into that defense. Hicks backs it away, and they'll reset it. In the key is Williams. Here's a 3. Rogers too strong. Hits the deck, no call. Battle for the rebound. Williams fighting for it hard. Ball fake. Shot good. No, they'll wave it off for a traveling violation.
Boy, that's
Phil Cunningham doesn't like it, Jerry.
The freshman really working hard there, but going to be called for the turnover.
We would like to welcome Troy University alum and former Troy baseball player Brian Kelly and the staff of.
Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. Oh!
3:04 in the first period. Troy 27, Austin Peay 24. Williams had his basket inside waved off before we went to break with a traveling violation. Phil Cunningham, Marcus Grant, Ben Fletcher on the Troy coaching staff asking for an explanation during the commercial break. Austin Peay with a chance to tie on this possession, potentially. Porter Bunton leaves it to Harris. Again, they're weaving here. Back to Harris against Darian Adams. A leaner off the blocks is no good. Trying to save it in is McGee. Off balance, he cannot do so, and it's Troy's basketball again.
You see both teams approaching their defensive efforts, and both are really giving good defensive efforts right now, but it's been Troy exclusively with the man-to-man. We've seen mostly zone from Austin Peay, but on this trip down, they will pick up man-to-man and extend it to the perimeter for Troy.
In Troy's attempts to shoot over that zone, just 3 of 13. Johnson misses short. Here comes Givens. He will take the contact. He will give the contact to B.J. Miller. Miller made an early decision in transition to set his feet, and Givens could not stop. That's good defense on the first foul on Jared Givens.
Well, Miller's really good at that. He was able to move his feet, get in position, as you said, get squared up early. That's the key, is to get squared up and take the contact, and you see B.J. Miller doing that and drawing the foul on Givens.
A low-scoring first half, to be sure. Just 51 points scored in 18 minutes. Here's Williams hard. That's an offensive foul. Porter Bunton anticipated the right-hand dribble in the key. First on Zay Williams, and Troy gives it right back.
Again, great defensive play. You will see in this replay Porter Bunton getting set quickly and is able to draw the foul. Here we get another look at it. Williams just a little bit out of control, was thinking of the external pass, trying to kick it to the perimeter, and just plowed into Porter Bunton. That's a good call by the official.
And Williams will sit down. Hicks comes back in for Troy, as does Darian Adams. Harris controls it at the top. Nice ball screen by McGee. Harris cannot take advantage. McGee had a hand on the rebound and cannot save it inbounds.
It's a good switch there, as you mentioned, on that screen. Hicks rotated over and was able to disrupt that shot inside, and Troy gets the possession because of that.
Just a recheck. Austin Peay is in the bonus. Troy has committed 6 fouls. Austin Peay has committed 5. Down the stretch we come for B.J. Miller. Javen Johnson, one-on-one versus Porter Bunton. Nice jabs into the lane. Hicks can't handle the entry pass. Fortuitous for Troy that it dribbles off of the prone body of Jabari McGee, and it stays with the Trojans there.
It was a good decision by Javen Johnson. He got past the initial defender, took that big step into the paint, and rather than take the little floating jumper, made the extra pass. It was just a little too hot for Alex Hicks. He's not able to hold on to it, but you're right. Troy catches a break as it goes off of a governor.
Run a play off the inbounds with 7 seconds to shoot. Here's Adams inside. There's a teardrop that goes short. Oh, look at Hicks. Holy smokes.
Hicks with only 4 points will get another look at it. Both of them have come on the offensive rebound. Just great position and did not miss the slam.
Matches Troy's largest lead at 5 with a minute and change left. Dayton Gum against Norman gives it up to Harris. Troy's defense has been true against that weave. Glotta, long three. No, Johnson controls. Tipped out of his hands by Porter Bunton.
Well, Glotta had almost all of the ball down in the cylinder, but it just rattled out. He had a great look there.
Now Phil Cunningham calls a timeout here. 58 seconds to go. Troy's lead is 5. The timeout called over there from Phil Cunningham. Wants a good possession, obviously, here.
Yeah, you're under a minute now here to go in the first half. You've got the 5-point lead if you're Coach Cunningham. What he's thinking now is to let's have a really good possession. You've got time really to go 2 possessions to 1 here throughout this stretch. So they'll design a play, try to get a good look. Wouldn't be surprised at all if they're looking for Hicks down low out of this timeout. And if nothing's there, then work around the defense and look for a perimeter shot. But they're thinking here we may have a 2-for-1 opportunity here before we go to break.
Troy was up 3 when Bernardo sat with those 2 fouls for Phil Cunningham. Since then, Troy has not only maintained the lead, they've extended it a little bit with a chance to extend it some more in the winning moments of the half.
And we're seeing some pressure here from Austin Peay, to be honest with you, Barry. I thought we would see more of this from the Governors, but we have not seen a lot of it. They'll back now and play the half-court defense.
And settle in to that zone. Here's Hicks and the foul. Wow, Jabari McGee could not defend Hicks. Here's another look.
A nice interior pass from Darian Adams. Hicks was posted up perfectly. I'm not surprised at all that that's the play that was designed out of that timeout to give the big man a chance down low. He's got 3 slam dunks in the game and a chance for an and-1 here.
You see his 6 points. They've all come straight down. He cannot convert on the 3-point play. 7-point lead for the Trojans. And about 10 seconds difference in the shot clock and game clock, Jerry.
That's what we were talking about. They got a chance to get a look. Now they can defend and get one more offensive opportunity before the half.
Here at the top, Chris Porter Bunton from Austin Peay. Chuchek, the 7-footer, has returned, setting a screen at the top. Now here's Harris against Miller. Galata with a ball fake, sets himself up for a 3. No. Adams gets the rebound.
Now the Trojans will slow it down, look for the final shot here.
Norman will take it. It's no good. Hit the deck. Rebounded offensively by Hicks. With 1 second to go, Miller, no. At the horn. Not a lot of points, Jerry, but an entertaining first half, to be sure. Troy goes into the locker room up 7 at the break.
Well, it was good defensive effort from both teams. We saw them both play great defense. I think.
Ready for the second half. And Jerry, I wonder how Austin Peay is in terms of their legs. We mentioned that they played their home opener November 6th, and they haven't played at home since. They've had a couple of tough overtime losses. They're on the road here, trailing by 7. They go on the road on Saturday before they get back into it a little bit. Yeah, that's a tough stretch for them.
Yeah, they're very athletic, but that kind of life on the road will wear on you a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that both teams make. I would expect to see Austin Peay maybe try to attack the paint a little more in this second half and not rely as much as they did in the first half on the outside shot. I think for Troy, you want to get Jordan Bernardo back into the flow of things very, very early. Got in early foul trouble after hitting a couple of buckets. Coach Cunningham would like to get him cranked up early here in this second half.
Bernardo will open the second half with 2 fouls. Likewise, Terry Taylor for Austin Peay. And there's an early steal off the inbounds. Miller gets fouled by Steve Harris. Jared Gibbons just gift wrapped the inbounds pass to open the second half, and B.J. Miller was on it quick.
Well, that being one of the keys, you don't want to open up the second half with a turnover, and then it's compounded by the foul and gives Troy an early opportunity to extend that lead at the free throw line.
Miller is a 77% free throw shooter so far.
Miller's coming off one of his best games, 18 points the other night, and he was lights out shooting. But that's his first point in this ball game.
Yeah, that was in the win.
Well, check that. That's his 3rd point.
Last Saturday against North Alabama. Second free throw rattles and falls. So Harris had to commit the foul to prevent the run out. And the Trojans lead just like that is 9. That's their largest. Porter Bunton wants to go inside to Taylor. There he is. Hicks will guard. Off of a screen, Galata. Dayton Gum starts the second half, takes it inside, blocked by Venardo. There's going to be a goaltending call against JV. Credit the bucket to Austin Peay.
Trojan faithful holding their breath there, thinking that might be a quick third foul on Venardo. It does give Austin Peay the bucket on the goaltending call.
Credit the bucket to Dayton Gum. Here's Venardo against Porter Bunton. Throws inside, and there was nobody there. He expected Miller to cut to the back door, and it didn't happen. A turnover by Troy. Each team has one of those in the first 40 seconds. Trojans are matching up man-to-man, as they have done so far. Galata between the rings. Again, looking for Taylor. Same spot on the floor against Hicks. Inside, jump, hook, got it in the foul.
Well, that's his game, and that's what Coach Figger wants to do with their offensive possessions, is give Taylor an opportunity inside, and you see him not only get the bucket there, but draw the foul as well.
Now again, Jerry mentioned he had 27 last year against Troy, 20 in the second half of that game. He'll need a second half performance to rival that. Got the three-point play. That's a good start for him. He is on a stretch. He is Terry Taylor, where he has 4 double-doubles in his first 5 games. He's been quiet tonight. 4-point game. Hicks, Venardo against Porter Bunton's energetic defense. Venardo trying to answer. Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's that athleticism that Venardo has. Just backed him in, used the left hand off the glass. Venardo just got a little bit of leverage there and took advantage of it.
Springing out is Harris. Fires inside to Taylor again. Jump hook again. Bucket again.
Well, that's a good sign for the Governors, as they've got their leading scorer cranked up now. 5 straight points for him.
He didn't score at all in the first 20 minutes. He's got 5 in the last 90 seconds. Venardo faces up against Porter Bunton. Backdoor cut. BJ gets fouled hard by Dayton Gum.
Yeah, no malice there at all. Just a good interior pass from Venardo and good movement without the basketball from Miller. He just got the little inside lane, and he'll quickly get to the line for the second time. We'll get a look at it here. You see the cut inside. Here's it from the outside. See the bounce pass from Venardo. Hit him in stride, and Miller goes to the line. He will miss the first of 2.
4-point lead. BJ has missed his first free throw tonight. 77% from the line this year.
He's working his right wrist. Had a lot of contact there as he went up for it, trying to shake off a little discomfort there in the right hand.
Second one climbs the front lip. 5 for Miller, a senior from Meridian, Mississippi. He's still flexing that right hand as he backtracks into defensive mode. Harris, mid-range jumper. That's out of his range, really. He's not a great outside shooter. Johnson picked up by Galata. Dumps it into Hicks, mid-lane. Lost it for a moment against Terry Taylor. Now he's in a little trouble, finds Miller. Miller hesitation move, gets him into the lane. His pass is knocked away by Harris. Troy will retain possession with 11 on the shot clock.
Nice defense inside from Austin Peay there. There's just not a lot of creases in that paint.
Miller's got it against Zach Galata. Curls off of the screen to the free throw line. Here's Johnson with a baseline. Actually, that's Venardo missing a 3 from the right short corner. Long rebound, Zach Galata. Taylor operates against Hicks, backs up. Galata again. Darian Adams comes out to get him. Looks for a screen. Here it comes. Trojans switch well. Lob in goes to Taylor. Trojans try to cheat down a little bit with Javen Johnson. He'll back it away. 7 to shoot. Trying to bull his way through a double team. There's going to be a foul on the floor. This against Hicks.
2 quick fouls on Alex Hicks, who they made the switch and let Hicks guard Taylor because of Venardo's foul trouble, and he quickly forced 2 fouls on the big man for Troy.
Taylor was in a little trouble there. 3-pointer on the way for Givens. Got it. Givens' second three-pointer.
You get the sense that the Governors now starting to find their rhythm a little bit, and they've closed the lead to just 2.
Second basket for Givens. Here inside Bernardo, blocking foul called. Givens may have taken a shot right in the bridge of his nose in defending.
That's a patented spin move there from Bernardo. He gets away with that sometimes. Sometimes the officials will not let him. We'll see that travel called quite often, but he makes the quick spin move there and draws the foul on Givens, who will get some attention here as they will take a look at the video just to make sure that there was not a flagrant elbow there from Bernardo.
Actually, Chris Porter Bunton, I believe, that he gets by Givens. And it was Chris Porter Bunton on defense, took a shot to the face. Let's take a look. What do you think in terms of intent?
I don't see much intent. I think he spun around. He did get his elbow up a little bit, but I didn't see any malicious intent. I certainly didn't see enough there to indicate that it would be a flagrant, even though there was solid contact. And that's what they're taking a look at. We'll get another look at it here a little closer up. You see the bounce down low and just a quick spin move, and it looks like he actually caught him with the point of his shoulder more than the elbow itself.
Our refereeing crew, Mark Lennox, John Hampton, Rusty Phillips, just want to take a look at it.
There was certainly enough contact there for them to take a look just to make sure that there wasn't an elbow thrown. And it really looked to me like it might have been his shoulder as he made that quick turn that contacted him.
Yeah, not a high elbow, but just a shoulder. It does not look.
Yeah, they're not going to change anything. It'll be just a common foul.
Yeah, so the common foul will be on Porter Bunton.
And they did confirm that to the scores table that it was on 3.
It is on Porter Bunton, not Givens. I miscalled it at the beginning. 20 seconds to shoot. Here's Bernardo against Porter Bunton again. A chop hook, and that one climbs the rim as well. Bernardo has a couple of second half buckets. So does Terry Taylor.
Well, that's the matchup problem that we were talking about. It's hard to defend Hicks and Bernardo there, but just because of the limited size with the lineup that's out there now. And Bernardo's had a couple of nice matchups.
Taylor spins inside, didn't see Miller. Miller was able to wrestle it free. Did it come off Porter Bunton? No, BJ was the last one to touch it for Troy.
BJ Miller, sneaky quick, just came back door there and almost got the steal.
Taylor was trying to back in. Didn't see BJ coming from the blind side. They'll have to inbound it to Taylor with 11 to shoot. Now Harris. Taylor hands it away to Givens. 6 to shoot for Harris. Works inside and hits a little feather soft 8-footer.
He's just got a nice soft touch in the paint. That little floater just hangs around there and just meanders down through the cylinder. That's just a nice soft touch there from the shooter.
Averages 11. He's got 10. 2-point game. Troy led by 7 at halftime. It's a 12-7 Austin Peay second half so far. Adams to the baseline. Double team comes. He kicks it off of Porter Bunton. And out of bounds to Troy.
Saw the Trojans trying to work the high-low there, Barry. We'll talk about it when we come back and see if they go back to that.
Trojans have it with a 2-point lead at home. A halftime lead of 7 for Troy has dwindled to just 2. Austin Peay out of the break has outscored the Trojans 12-7. And a lot of that has been Terry Taylor.
Yeah, that's what we figured Coach Figure would try to do, is to get
saw what you did there, yeah.
is to get Terry Taylor quickly into the action, and they did. 5 quick points from him, and right now you're seeing that offense really flow through him, and he's been up to the challenge. They quickly cut a 9-point lead down.
Javen Johnson, a quick draw 3 with 5 to shoot, no good. Porter Bunton collects it. Austin Peay can tie or take the lead. They've had as much as a 5-point lead in the first half early. Here comes that weave to Harris. Collada. Porter Bunton. Ball fakes his way into the lane. He got the roll. Trojans didn't defend the post well there. We are tied at 38. Porter Bunton has got 7.
Porter Bunton just got along the baseline. Nobody ever rotated over, and he did a nice job, very patient there to wait for the opening to get the layup.
Austin Peay has hit their last 3 shots. Baseline, Bernardo stepped on the sideline. He caught the pass from BJ.
And I
stuck his pivot foot back and brushed the sideline.
Happened just here to my right, and it looked like as he started to make his move, he pulled his right foot back and touched the sideline, and a careless turnover for the Trojans. And Austin Peay now, after being down 9 in this half, a chance to take the lead.
We're trying to work Terry Taylor off a couple of screens down low. Hicks is denying up top. Finally, Taylor gets it at the head of the key. He'll take a long-range 3. Got it.
Well, not sure how to defend that at all, and Taylor can shoot that. He was 8 of 26 coming in, and he's got 8 points now.
It's a 7-0 run. Troy hasn't scored in over 2 minutes. Here's Hicks. Ball fake in the lane. Lost it. Loose away to Givens. Comes a dry stretch for Troy. Can they withstand a very solid run here for Austin Peay? 7-0 run in 2 minutes. To grab the lead and a chance to add on to it. Here's Harris. Lost it. That's nice job by Darian Adams ahead, and he'll lay it in off the feed from Jordan Bernardo. Adams got the bucket, but it was created by his own defense.
Yes, just a nice steal inside and then a quick look. Nice release from Darian Adams to get the open bucket. And again, you see Austin Peay go to that weave. They just keep turning you over, setting those screens until something pops open.
3-pointer, Taylor, no. Troy trailing it by 1 with possession. Miller works into the lane. Tough shot. Foul called. Looks as though Givens will get called for the foul, and he took an elbow right in the solar plexus as well, right in the breadbasket.
You see, that's part of Miller's adjustment. It is we didn't see many dribble drives from their point guard in the first half, but that's the 3rd time now he's been able to penetrate and draw the foul.
He's physical as well as lightning quick. He can get to the hoop a lot. Ties it up. A couple of changes here. Harris comes out. So does Porter Bunton. Jabari McGee and Dayton Gum come back in. Miller to try to get the lead back to Troy. BJ so far 4 of 5 from the line. He got it. Zay Williams will take over for Hicks. Alex will sit, having been so productive in the first half, but he leaves with 2 fouls and takes a breather here for the freshman.
I thought Zay Williams was very effective in the first half of play. Had 4 points and 4 rebounds, and he checks in here to give Alex Hicks a break.
Now with Harris out, Galata will run the point. Here's Givens with a 3-pointer. He hits it. Givens has a couple of trays here since the break. Austin Peay has the lead right back by a deuce. 7 minutes in. Second half. Taven Johnson's been quiet. Here's a little scoop and a bucket.
Well,
and Givens takes another shot.
That's that great length that you see. We'll get a look at it. Just patient, cuts across the lane. Then look at the stretched out right arm. Just great length to get around the defense and lay it off the glass and draw contact and foul.
That'll be Terry Taylor, the guilty party, as we take another look. That's the 3rd foul on Taylor.
Yeah, you see Givens had him, but Taylor just reached in. Boy, that's just a real cheap foul there for the offensive star for Austin Peay. He looked back at the official, but they got him just reaching in as we saw Johnson crossing the paint. And, boy, that's a tough foul to get his 3rd.
Porter Bunton has to come back in as they'll help Givens to the side. Take a look at his nose. It's a big 3-point play. Javen Johnson's in double figures. And Troy's back to a 1-point lead.
That was a really good possession there for the Trojans offensively, because not only do you get the 3-point play, but again, you get that 3rd foul on Terry Taylor.
Porter Bunton dribbles into traffic. Wild shot blocked by Zay Williams. Porter Bunton gets it back. They do not reset the shot clock, obviously. Dayton Gum on the baseline. Galata's open from 3. High rebound. Taylor has it wrestled out of his grasp. It comes to Johnson for Troy. Gum will guard. Inside, Galata.
Oh, and that's just a loose ball there. Bernardo contacts Galata, and he's going to draw his third. So just like that, again, both of the leading scorers for each team picks up their third foul. Bernardo's going to stay in as Taylor did earlier, but he'll check out now.
Taylor will. He'll go to the bench. Harris will return in just a moment. In for Taylor is the 7-footer, Ivan Chuchek. Scoreless in the first half. Galata works off of a screen. Nothing there. Porter Bunton is trapped at midcourt. Works through it. Gets to the bucket. Has the layup good over Javen Johnson.
He's really got some ball skills. Dribbled through the double team there as you see Troy trying to set some traps on the perimeter, but Porter Bunton just weaved his way through, and the result was a layup and another lead for Austin Peay.
46-45. Gum defends B.J. Miller.
Well, they've really extended that defense now, have the Governors.
Both teams. Baseline three, Javen Johnson may have been partially blocked. It comes short. Gum will punch it out long. It comes to Darian Adams. Adams trying to save it in. It goes, watch out, everybody into the crowd over there. Look out. Gum goes about 5 rows up into the bleachers. Porter Bunton goes flying. Let's take everybody, make sure they're okay. Troy will have it, trailing by 1. Austin Peay has ridden a 22-14 second half to a lead here. Troy closing out the 4-game homestand. Florida State in Tallahassee on Monday. Then back here at the arena for Carver College. Western Kentucky and UAB on the road before Arkansas Pine Bluff to close out 2018.
We've seen both of these teams with a really tough non-conference schedule. It should serve both of them well as they get into their respective conference play.
Yeah. Austin Peay out of the Ohio Valley Conference. There's a lob up high. Zay Williams converts on the alley-oop from B.J. Miller. Trojans back in front.
Boy, that was a flat assist, but Williams went up and got it and drove it home. And again, Miller with the steal. He has been active defensively.
A foot race here as it comes off of Galata. He cannot save it, and B.J. is asking for the foul. Let's take another look at the alley-oop.
You see it. You see not much arc on that, but look at Williams go up and get it and slam it home. That's just a great interior look from B.J. Miller and a nice catch by the freshman on a ball that was not easy to handle.
Trojans have it after the steal. B.J. was politely asking the location of the foul that was not called. Here at the top, this will come right at us. As last touched by Austin Peay. Stay with Troy with 21 seconds to shoot.
We saw it, that quick break, just a quick breather for Terry Taylor. He's right back out for Austin Peay.
Guarding Zay Williams at the head of the key. Spencer Rogers, a shooter. Now Venardo, no surprise, who works in against McGee. Misses the layup, gets his rebound, tries to put it up. And will head to the free throw line.
It's just good work by Venardo inside. That's just getting your lunch pail and going to work there. Inside against that Austin Peay defense. Venardo had a good look, couldn't get it to fall, but gets his rebound and draws the foul.
Not a shooting foul, it'll be a floor foul. Foul will be against McGee. Second on McGee and a new shot clock for Troy. Three-pointer on the way, Darian Adams, that's short. Troy still up by 1, nearing the midway point of the second half. Porter Bunton shovels it inside. McGee has it blocked by Bernardo. That's great recovery defensively. Rogers cross courts it to Darian Adams to the bucket. Hard! No! Long tap to Williams. Williams throws it away. Harris against B.J. Miller, and B.J. will foul him.
That's just great hustle by B.J. after a mistake from the freshman Williams. Tried to get to him early, and he was able to do so to get the floor foul rather than the shooting foul.
Charles Norman comes in for Troy. Dayton Gum is back on the floor for Austin Peay. Now KJ Simon, freshman guard, will take B.J. Miller out for very likely his last break of the game.
Yeah, Miller will get a breather here as we near the midway point of the second half, and critical for both teams now as they've got some subs in there, need minutes from them if they're going to be successful.
Taylor misses in tight. Rogers comes out with it for Troy. There's a ball screen. Rogers to the bucket. Reverse layup. Oh, my goodness. And the foul.
Wow, what a move. The freshman just kept the little half dribble. You see him get around his man there and then go reverse. Backside, draws the foul, and gets it to fall. What a nice play there from the freshman, Spencer Rogers.
That is his second basket. He's got 5 and a chance for a three-point play, and he can't clean it up. Harris gets the foul. It's his third. Troy by 3. 10 minutes to go. McGee. Now Givens. Here's Dayton Gum. Knocked away. Rogers got a hand on it. Taps it right back to Givens. The three-pointer is off the mark. And there's a Williams for Troy.
Critical stretch for Austin Peay here now because these fresh legs for Troy really pushing the action a little bit.
Austin Peay hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. Wraparound pass by Norman, a little bit too hot inside. Transition foul before Austin Peay can get untracked. That's KJ Simon's first for the Trojans. Turnover-wise, Troy has committed 12, which is above their average already. Austin Peay with 11.
This is just a little key stretch here for Troy. They've got 4 freshmen and the senior Bernardo on the floor now at the same time.
Johnson's on the bench. Hicks is on the bench. Miller's on the bench. Trying to buy them a little rest before we come down to the home stretch. And there is Givens taking an extra step. Austin Peay turns it right back over.
You can see the frustration from the head coach figure there is just can't afford in a game like this to give away the ball carelessly, but just an open floor turnover there.
Is Austin Peay road weary? Haven't seen any of it so far. Boy, they've been on the road a bunch. Here's Rogers driving, dishing. Simon has it taken away by Galata, and Galata cannot control it.
It's hard to imagine this Austin Peay team. You look at their schedule, Bear. They've lost some heartbreakers. They've lost 2 on the road in overtime. They also lost to Campbell by 6. They've been in some very competitive ball games early in their schedule. So a game down at the end close is nothing new to these guys.
Turnover there. They played in the Jersey Mike's Jamaica Classic, so if you're going to be on the road, I suppose Jamaica's not a bad place to be away from home. But still, that's a lot of miles for Austin Peay. Working inside, McGee fouled on the floor. That basket will not count. Trojan foul will be against Zay Williams. That's number 2 on the freshman out of Birmingham.
Well, that's the experience of a graduate guy like McGee taking advantage of the freshman. Just got leverage off the dribble and drew the foul, and Coach Fletcher going to coach up his freshman a little bit as he takes a seat.
Inside, Porter Bunton, jump hook a little short. Here's Spencer Rogers. Troy's got some numbers here. Lob to Bernardo, cannot handle it, and it's out of bounds off of Dayton Gunn.
It was a good look from Rogers, but the pass was just a little deep, and Bernardo's not able to bring it in. Fortunately for the Trojans, it does go out of bounds off of the Austin Peay player, so Troy will maintain it with a 25-second shot clock.
8:28 to go. The freshman Rogers to trigger it in long, and that is McGee selling out to go chase after the basketball, plows into Bernardo. Not only is that the 3rd foul on McGee, but that puts Austin Peay over the limit for the remainder of the regulation period.
You see McGee talking to the official, and his claim is if the ball's in the air, I've got an opportunity to go get it as well. But he turned and sprinted for the ball, just did not see Jordan there.
Yeah.
Too much contact for the official to ignore.
Bernardo took a pretty good hit. He's wincing a little bit as he trudges to the free throw line for some significant free throws. 1 plus the bonus for the senior all-conference player out of Brownsville, Tennessee. Bernardo is in double figures. He's got 10. He's averaging nearly a double figure a game.
When his game's really working, he's going to get to the line 6 or 8 times in a ball game. This is his first time there in this one. He sat a lot of the first half, though, with foul trouble.
Austin Peay hasn't scored in nearly 4 minutes. Bernardo takes advantage of both free throws. 5-point lead again for Troy. They led at the break by 7. Porter Bunton hands it away to Gum. Now here's Harris, who's been quiet since a hot start. Porter Bunton drives the baseline. Galata, ball fakes against Adams, throws it to the top. Nice reaction by Harris. 5 seconds to go, steps through and travels. Another turnover, and Austin Peay's scoring drought continues.
Got behind the shot clock a little bit there, and you saw Harris having to rush it a bit. Got a little too deep there and into the interior defense of the Trojans. And as he tried to stop his momentum and kick it back outside, just drugged that pivot foot a little bit. And you see Troy now slow the pace just a little bit on this possession.
Some youngsters out there, a couple of freshmen, Simon and Rogers. Simon crosses over against Gum. Finds Adams inside to Hicks. There's going to be an offensive foul call as Hicks looks like he hooked the defender. That is 3 on the Trojan big man down low. 7:40 left. Troy leading Austin Peay by 5. The good news for Phil Cunningham, Troy's head coach, is that his team leads by 5. But those two men in the screen, he's got to have a care about Hicks and Bernardo. They both have 3 fouls now down the stretch.
Yeah, only 2 players on the Troy team with 3 fouls, and it's the 2 big guys down low. They will keep them in together here, so a challenge for them to stay out of foul trouble, because that is, again, Troy's best weapon against this Austin Peay defense are those 2 big guys down low.
Austin Peay hasn't scored in 4.5 minutes. Troy has bolstered their lead to 5. Austin Peay needs a bucket. Galata cross-courts it. This is Harris. No surprise it comes into the hands of Terry Taylor. Galata with the 3, and he's defended, but he got it.
Well, that's clutch, and a much-needed bucket for Austin Peay, who had hit a drought there.
Nearly 5 minutes without a basket until Galata hits a contested 3 over Darian Adams. 7 minutes to go, 2-point game. B.J. Miller trapped down low. Galata gets a hand on it, steals it away. 1-on-1 versus Adams. And he'll go to the free throw line. Rare turnover for B.J. Miller. Tried to skip it to the top, and Galata was waiting for it. Adams has to foul, his first. And Galata, who has not missed a free throw this year, has a chance to tie it up.
Yeah, you're right. 13 of 13 is Galata on the season.
A senior from O'Fallon, Missouri, and he gets the first. Double figures, he's got 10. Averages 12 a game. Galata had quite the summer, tied it up. During this past summer, Galata got married, then went on a European tour with Athletes in Action. Went all over the place. Prague, Madrid. It's a good summer. So 51 all, 6:40 to go.
He's played 31 minutes, more than anybody else on the floor. I don't remember him coming out.
Adams, Miller. High post, Bernardo. 15-footer on the way, and the Trojans lead. 13 for Bernardo.
Bernardo turned expecting defense to come in contact, and nobody ever showed up, and he just squared up and dropped it in.
All right then. Porter Bunton, Gum, quickly to Harris. Troy's defense is right there through all the ball movement. Harris to the basket hard. Lots of contact on his way up. B.J. Miller has just picked up his 3rd with a shade over 6 minutes to go. 9 fouls against Troy. 8 fouls against Austin Peay. Virtually every foul from here on out will result in free throws either way. 1 more foul for Troy, and Austin Peay will shoot in the double bonus. Harris is a senior from St. Louis, Missouri. Has added to what is his first career 4-game double-figure scoring streak. Knuckleballs that one up there. He's got 12. Well, 53-53.
You mentioned both teams in the bonus, so free throw shooting going to be big in the second half. Austin Peay a 77% team shooting, and Troy at 72. And Big call coming here is who is that out of bounds on, and it'll go Trojans' way.
Austin Peay with some backcourt pressure. Bernardo almost lost it. Very fortunate to get it back in front of the Trojan bench.
Well, this is where those turnovers are really key to. You've got to value every possession in a game like this.
Inside of 6 minutes, Troy's Darian Adams. BJ Miller. Screen gets BJ into the lane. Adams with a big three on the way. It's short. Rebounded offensively. Johnson. Stick back rolls off. There is Hicks to tip it. Hicks has 4 buckets. All of them have come in very, very tight.
I think all of them have been offensive rebounds as well. He's really worked in their first bucket of the second half, but Trojans get 3 shots that trip down and take the lead.
Baseline, Taylor. Hicks will guard. Taylor takes it right to him. Lost it on the way up a little bit. An air ball, and Troy gets it back.
Just good stationary defense there from Alex Hicks. Used his length to cover the bucket. Taylor came up a little short on that shot.
Inside, Adams has it knocked away to Bernardo. And no look pass to Hicks. Yes.
I'm not sure how he saw him, but he got it into him in good shape. And Hicks now in double figures.
Take another look. It's not an easy pass, and Terry Taylor was right there. Timeout called. Austin Peay wants to talk it over. With 4 minutes and 44 seconds to go, Austin Peay trying to come back on the road again, trailing by 4 in Troy. Four minutes and 44 seconds to go. Matt Figger, the Austin Peay head coach, calls a timeout before the under 4 media timeout. This is a big possession for his club, trailing by 4 here. They need a good shot on this possession. Galata has it in his hands against what is now a Troy zone.
Yeah, first time we've seen the zone from the Trojans, but they'll push them to the perimeter here.
13 to shoot, ball deflected away, loose to Hicks. Matt Figger doesn't like that. He motions for Dayton Gum to head to the scorer's table. Hicks, 3, in and out. He is not shy about that three-pointer. He will take him and make him. Austin Peay gets it back, closing in on 4 minutes to go.
Interesting move here from Coach Cunningham. Hasn't shown him the zone all night long and goes to it here under 5 minutes to go.
Resulted in a turnover the first time he flashed it at him. Galata can't shoot over the zone. Ken Givens, yes. Jared Givens hits another three-pointer.
He's hit 4 buckets, all of them from three-point range.
He's got 12 points.
Just like that, it's a 1-point game.
3:42 left. Javen Johnson backs it away against Givens. Into the lane. Shot good, and he'll go to the line. That was just strictly one-on-one. Johnson brought it out, cleared it out, took it in, got the bucket, and will go to the line when we come back.
You see him take it there against Givens, and just no answer for that. Trojans extend their lead. Back at Trojan Arena, we get a look there, Bear. We thought the foul was on Givens, but we see on the replay there that it's actually called on Chris Porter Button. You see him just reach in at the last minute, and he is charged with the foul. And Javen Johnson a chance to complete a three-point play.
And get the lead for Troy into a 2-possession game. Kind of a lot of time left before we start talking about 2 possessions here or there, and he missed the free throw anyway, so it's a 3-point margin. 3:27 to go. It was a gut check time for Austin Peay. Here on the road again. They've played so many teams close to no avail on the road so far this season, even 6 games in. Terry Taylor will have the ball a lot. Bernardo guards him. Taylor bangs inside. Here on the outside, Chris Porter Bunton. Three-pointer for Galata. In and out. There's Hicks with a rebound. Big miss. 3 minutes to go.
Trojans have done a really good job forcing Taylor to give the ball up. Here again we see Miller try to penetrate. Ball's knocked away, and I think the Trojans will maintain possession. But back to my point, they've really done a good job when Taylor's caught the ball to get him defended and forced the ball out of his hands, and that's been a real key. They've held him to 10 points to this point, below his average.
B.J. Miller gets the inbounds lob, 23 to shoot. Now here's spin by Bernardo. No, foul called. Terry Taylor frustrated by the quick whistle. That's his 4th foul, and Bernardo heads back to the charity stripe.
I think that's a good design play there by the Trojans to get it in Bernardo's hands with Taylor guarding him, and you can see the frustration on the young man now with 4 fouls. He's frustrated about what's happened on the offensive end, and then he's had a couple of fouls without a lot of contact, if you will.
Troy's had a couple of chances from the free throw line to get the advantage to a 2-possession advantage, and they finally do. 14 for Bernardo. Troy's margin is 4 inside of 3 minutes to go. An even bigger trip this time for Austin Peay. Porter Bunton against Javen Johnson's defense. Now McGee. Lob inside, nice catch by Taylor. He's in position, and he got the bucket.
And that'll be Bernardo's 4th foul.
That is a great lob.
You see him get good position. He's inside position on Bernardo, and the pass, you're right, was just lobbed right over Jordan's hands. He contacts it, and that's a big possession for the Governors.
Taylor's in double figures. Preseason All-Ohio Valley Conference has just drawn to within 1 on a 3-point trip. Into the game, Harris, the point guard, as Taylor will take a break right here. 2:37 to go. Terry Taylor goes to the bench.
He won't be over there long, I assure you. Just a quick breather. Coach Figger going to give him a chance to catch his breath and be ready for the last minute and a half of this ball game that looks like it's going to come right down to the wire.
Springing out is Adams against Galata, 13 to shoot. They're really spreading out the defense. Adams into the lane, puts up a shot, will go to the line. Nice little finger roll to draw contact. That's Jabari McGee, and that's his 4th.
A nice possession by Darian Adams. He'd missed a couple of threes, but very patient there with that possession. Finally got the leverage on McGee, and just a quick burst to the hoop gets him an opportunity at the free throw line.
Adams has 7. Darian Adams has not missed a free throw.
Taylor at about 30 seconds off the clock, and he's back in.
Maybe a minute in real time. Maybe that's all he needs. A couple of big free throws for Darian Adams. 3-point game, 2:11 to go. Loads of time for the Govs.
Well, this game's been everything we thought it would be. 2 very athletic teams, 2 teams that have been tested early in their season, going at it tooth and nail.
High post, Porter Bunton lost it on the floor, but Taylor's able to run it down on the deep corner. Lob down low. Porter Bunton controls, tries to step through, and does.
How in the world did he not move that pivot foot? That's just great athleticism there for Porter Bunton to get a very important bucket for the Governors.
1 point is all that separates these clubs. 100 seconds to go. Dayton Gum defends B.J. Miller.
He is the 5th player in double figures for the Governors.
Now Bernardo in trouble, has it ripped away by Porter Bunton. Ahead it goes to Gum to slam it home. Timeout called here. Austin Peay got the steal and the lead on Gum's baskets. Take another look here.
Yeah, Bernardo did not see the pressure coming from behind. They got the steal and a quick outlet pass. Gum running ahead of the pack, and that's just a quick, easy bucket for Austin Peay to take the lead.
They got the step through bucket from Porter Bunton to draw within 1, then the steal, and Gum's 2-pointer. They've hit their last 3 shots down the stretch. Troy led by 7 at the break. Austin Peay has outscored Troy by 8 here since halftime. And Phil Cunningham calls a timeout. You look into the Austin Peay bench, and there's our game recap right now. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams have committed over the double bonus limit. And should a held ball be called, the possession arrow will favor Troy.
Well, and if you're Coach Cunningham, the reason you wanted that timeout right there is you want to make sure that you have a good possession here. So he'll call a couple of options here. They'll have the primary play that they want to set up and the player that they want to get it to, and they'll have a secondary option if that breaks down. So he takes the timeout here because he knows how important this possession is for his homestanding ball club.
Austin Peay will not pressure the basketball in the backcourt. They'll pull back defensively with Gum and Galata. Harris, McGee, Taylor's out right now, and Porter Bunton.
They'll go offense, defense with him maybe here.
Taylor already goes to the scorer's table, and the Trojans will turn it over. It's an elbow on Bernardo, and he is just fouled out. He got Porter Bunton right in the face with an elbow. Bernardo is gone.
Oh boy, we just didn't see that coming. They tried to get the pass down to Bernardo, and apparently he had the offensive foul to clear. We'll get a look at it here.
See if we
see B.J. Miller working it around to him, and it came before the ball entered. Yeah, and that may be they're going to look at it. That could be a flagrant foul. We saw contact earlier with Bernardo. They took a look and said that it was not, but this looks a little bit different.
What a big call this would be. Not only, no matter what, is Bernardo out of the game. He leaves with 14 points. But as we take a field level look, come right into the kitchen with this one. Yep, got him in the face. That's an offensive foul. Now they're going to check. Porter Bunton took it right in the mouth. And if it's a flagrant foul, they'll get free throws and possession,
which would be absolutely huge already with a 1-point lead, and that could very well go that way. It wasn't one of those really vicious shots, but you can see in that replay that his elbow was elevated a little bit, and they're going to slow it down. We'll get a look at the rule. After a call on the floor, the result can be flagrant 1 or 2, a common foul or no foul. After no call is made on the floor, it can be a flagrant with a 1 or 2 or no foul. Cannot be or cannot call a common foul.
In other words, if you didn't call a foul in live time, you can't go back and call a common foul, but you can go back and call a flagrant.
I don't think there's any question. They got the call right as far as a foul. The question is, was it flagrant or a common? And that's a big determination here, and it looks like it is going to go flagrant. We'll wait for the official.
Yep, that is a flagrant one. And Phil Cunningham does not like it. That's a big call here. 1:12 to go, and Troy loses their best player. They lose the lead. And now Porter Bunton will be at the line to add, or to try to add to the Austin Peay lead. Phil Cunningham, his club facing some adversity late. Porter Bunton, it's his first free throws. Normally he is a 70% shooter, and he got it.
We'll see, because they will get possession with that made bucket, regardless of what he does here, the Governors will have a chance to get it to a 2-possession game.
Chris Porter Bunton, a senior from Bowling Green, Kentucky, has posted Austin Peay to a 3-point lead with 1:12 to go, and the Governors, because of the flagrant foul, bring it up court. Steve Harris. .60 run for Austin Peay in the last 40 seconds. Here's a three-pointer by Gum, in and out. Porter Bunton gets the offensive rebound and the stick back. He has been a killer for the Trojans tonight.
Well, the Trojans have done a really good job defending that offensive glass for the Governors, but that's a huge offensive rebound and put back there.
Adams quickly to the bucket against Galata. Got it, and he's fouled. Double figures for Darian Adams. Right into your living room. There's the bucket. Galata has picked up number 1.
He's done a really good job for the Trojans, putting the ball on the floor tonight, and he'll get to the free throw line again, the chance for the and one.
That's big. Spencer Rogers has come in for Troy defensively, a freshman. Troy has gone smaller with Bernardo on the bench. Harris will ask for the timeout, leaving Austin Peay with just 1. 37 seconds to go. A bucket here for Austin Peay would make it a 2-possession game with not much time left. Needless to say, Troy needs a defensive stop in the worst way.
You see the shot clock and the game clock. There's about 15 seconds difference in the two. And with a 2-point difference, it's not a situation where Troy's going to come out and have to foul. They'll try to defend as hard as they can, try to get the stop or the turnover and have a chance to tie or take the lead with the possession. That's, I think, what you're going to see here from Coach Figger. I'll be shocked if it's not a play designed to look inside to Taylor first and then back out to one of those perimeter guys. But one of the things he's going to want from his Governor team here is to take that shot clock down. He wants to go deep into that 23 seconds here with this possession.
In the battle between the two best players, Terry Taylor has 11, Bernardo has 14, but Taylor's still playing. For Troy, it's Rogers and Hicks, Johnson, Adams, and Miller. It's a smaller lineup. Austin Peay will have Gum and Glotta, Taylor, Harris, and Porter Bunton. Spencer Rogers, the freshman, is guarding Porter Bunton down low. And what's a 1-3, 1.5 court, it looks like. Taylor at the top, hands it to Glotta. Working the clock inside of 30 seconds. Gum, touch pass to Glotta. 8 seconds to shoot for Harris. Down low, Taylor misses the shot. No, that was Porter Bunton misses the shot. Terry Taylor, jump ball on the way up. That's Troy's possession. Taylor was trying to follow, and I believe it was Darian Adams who came in and claimed a share of it.
Couple of key plays from Darian Adams, one offensively and one defensively here on back-to-back possessions. He just came over with the help side defense. Troy would take the timeout here, but came over with the help side defense, got it tied up, and with the possession error. We'll get a look at it here. You're right, it was off the miss. You see Taylor try to get it, and then look at Adams come in and get him tied up. That's a great effort for the sophomore of the Trojans.
Well, you mentioned offensive rebounding. Porter Bunton snuck in and got a putback earlier. Terry Taylor came in and had it until Adams grabbed it. Got to work on the glass. Troy will have 16 seconds here to try to tie it up with a bucket, maybe take a late lead.
A lot of options for the Trojans here offensively. Hicks will probably be their first look. I think their second look would be Javen Johnson, who's done a good job with the perimeter shot and the dribble drive. And then you've got B.J. Miller, who's done a good job getting into the paint and drawing the foul, too, here in the second half.
Gum looks right into Miller's eyes. B.J. blows right by him into the lane. Layup. No, there's Javen Johnson to follow with 6 seconds.
Great offensive rebound now. Both teams with clutch offensive rebounds and putbacks.
And there, with 1/10 of a second to go, the follow is off the mark from Harris. And we will go to overtime. A follow slam off of Miller's layup miss by Javen Johnson tied it. Harris had a leaner in the lane that was just off the mark, and they couldn't follow it with less than a second to go. And we'll play extra basketball here in Troy.
Well, who didn't see this coming? The way these two teams were going at it from the opening tip to the final regulation whistle there. They get a pretty good look down there. They get a nice penetration and then an opportunity for an offensive putback, but you see the Trojans. Here's what got it tied up. You see Miller's penetration, and look at good position from the sophomore Javen Johnson. Just off the rim, Johnson there in perfect position to slam it home, and that's what's sending us to the extra time.
I thought Miller was aggressive because he actually had to draw the big post defender out, and that left the backside open for the rebound slam for Javen Johnson. Miller came across midcourt. Gum was right there with him. Miller shed him with a ball fake and then headed to the bucket, and good things happened after that. But a great defensive stand as well at the last moment as Harris was just off the mark with a little one-handed pump shot in the final second.
If you're Austin Peay, you're thinking, okay, so what's new? They go overtime at South Florida, end up losing 74-70. Just the game prior to coming here, they go overtime at Ohio and lose a hard-fought three-point game there. So this is just another day at the office for the Governors.
This is their second straight overtime game. As Jerry mentioned, Trojans haven't played one yet this year. A look into Phil Cunningham's huddle over there. It was a 5-point game with a minute to go. Troy found a way to come back.
Keyed by that defensive possession where Darian Adams is able to get the held ball, and that gave the Trojans a chance to tie it, and they took advantage of it, and they were able to do that, come from that 5-point deficit with their leading scorer on the year, Jordan Bernardo, on the bench with 5 fouls.
Let me ask you about one number. We'll take a look at stats possibly, but taking a look at one number, Troy fortunate to force overtime. They out-rebounded Austin Peay in regulation by 18.
That's a huge number on a team that's been averaging out-rebounding their opponents by 4. They held them to 9 offensive rebounds in the regulation game while they had 18. But nothing has been decided yet.
5 extra minutes, at least. Taylor and Hicks. Porter Bunton jostling Javen Johnson a little bit before we even get started, and Hicks wins the opening tap. Again, Troy playing without Bernardo. Taylor plays with 4 fouls for Austin Peay. There's a handoff to Darian Adams, who's been clutch down the stretch. Left-hand dribble in the lane, pull-up jumper, too strong. And there's Porter Bunton with a tough rebound.
Coach Cunningham urging Adams to not pull up there, but to take it onto the hoop to try to draw the foul.
Very little mid-range game anymore in this sport. Taylor, Glotta with a big 3 on the way, got the roll.
Boy, he's got a great touch. And you could see him pop open there. That long 3 just nestled into the bucket, and advantage quickly for Austin Peay.
Adams lobs it in, jump hook, Hicks. Tough to stop that.
Not if he catches it that low. There's no way to defend the shot coming out of his hand.
That deep catch for him. It's tough to stop. 1-point game. Taylor against Hicks. Inside, foul called on the floor. It will be Alex. That's his 4th. All 4 fouls have come since halftime. And Porter Bunton heads to the, this is Terry Taylor heads to the free throw line, where he is 2 for 2.
Well, I would expect Coach Figger to attack the Troy defense just like that every time down.
Well, Austin Peay has shown us something. We kept looking for signs of road weariness or fatigue. Very little of that. Taylor misses them both, however. Stays a 1-point game. Rogers getting some real playing time in clutch. Hicks backs in, another jump hook, little strong here. Still an Austin Peay lead. Porter Bunton hands it away to Gum. Screen for Harris. Ball fake, mid-range jumper from Porter Bunton, too strong. Adams gets a high screen into the key and now backs it away for B.J. Miller against Harris. Rogers dumps it down. Hicks for the lead. No. Tap no for Adams. He saves it in, but there's nobody there.
Coach
Austin
Cunningham,
Peay
you can see they had the matchup they wanted. Hicks with the ball down low. Taylor with 4 fouls. Hicks settles for the little jumper. Boy, Coach Cunningham really wanted him to back him down a little further to try to draw that 5th foul.
Givens has hit 4 3-pointers. A couple big ones down the stretch. He re-enters the game for Austin Peay. Here's Chris Porter Bunton flashing off to the wing. Glotter lob down low. Taylor with a reverse layup. 3-point game. Halfway through overtime.
Big possession for the Trojans here now against that zone defense of the Governors. Down 3 points.
Johnson flashes to the top. Here's Miller. Into the lane, hard layup, got it.
Miller.
Miller for Troy has 9 points. And 6, I'll check it, 3 assists. Here's Gum. 15 to shoot for Glotta. We're inside of 2 minutes in overtime. Porter Bunton checked by Miller into the lane, left-handed layup partially blocked. They're going to call a foul on Javen Johnson. Referee Bart Lennox telling the Troy coaching staff to sit down. Foul on Javen. Take another look. It's his first.
You can see Javen come across. Troy thought they got a lot of basketball there, but the contact is there, and this will send Austin Peay to the free throw line. Well, we talked about how important these threes are, particularly when you've got two teams that are as fatigued as both of these teams are.
Porter Bunton at 6'5" has 14 of Austin Peay's 31 rebounds. He's also 2 of 2 from the line. Make it 3 for 3. Chris Porter Bunton had 2 points and 7 rebounds last year in the game between these two teams, coming off a 16-point game off the bench at Ohio last week. Closing in his senior year on 1,000 career points, and needs to average 14 points per game. For the remainder, he's got 16 in this one, and it stays at 16. Johnson high for the rebound. Lead is 2 for the visitors. Austin Peay zoning up against Javen Johnson. Rogers, a freshman. Long range 3, no good for Johnson.
Well, it was a good look for him too. He'll hit a high percentage of those, but Austin Peay clears the glass and they'll take a timeout.
15 rebounds for Chris Porter Bunton. Timeout called with 1:15 to go. The lead and the basketball for the Govs. Austin Peay 73-71 in extra time. Timeout called by Austin Peay after Chris Porter Bunton's 15th rebound tonight. Austin Peay leads on the road 73-71, and they've got the basketball here with 1:15 in overtime. Looking at the Govs huddle there as Matt Figger, the head coach, breaks it up, sends them out there. Porter, Bunton, Taylor, Galata, McGee, and Dayton Gum will inbound against Phil Cunningham's Trojans with Darian Adams, Alex Hicks, P.J. Miller, Javen Johnson, and Spencer Rogers.
That timeout by Coach Figger there is, again, just to get the play. He would like to maybe get to the free throw line here, and you see the Trojans trap on the perimeter here to try to force a turnover.
10 to shoot. Galata in some trouble on the outside deep. And there's a steal by Darian Adams. Steps in. Troy can tie or take the lead here for Rogers. The freshman's tray. Got it!
Are you kidding me? A big game like this and the freshman takes the shot. Unbelievable. Ice water in those veins.
74-73 Troy. Galata committed the turnover. Controls it here. Gets a screen at the top. Inside of a minute in overtime. Ten to shoot for Porter Bunton. Here's Galata. Got it.
Oh my, what an answer.
17 for Galata. 2-point lead for Austin Peay. Again, shot clock is start.
You talk about ice water. Galata answers the big 3 from the freshman for Troy with a big 3.
Here's Rogers.
Austin
No
Peay.
good. Lots of contact. No foul called. Gum will pick it up off the hardwood. With 12 seconds to go, Phil Cunningham was wanting a foul call on Rogers' three.
Well, we're getting a finish. We get a look at the freshman Rogers for Troy hitting the big three from the top of the key, but Glotta answers with an even longer three. Boy, he's got that soft touch. It just nestles in. And now Austin Peay with a real chance to put Troy against the wall here if they can make both of these free throws.
Javen Johnson committed the foul. Dayton Gum at the line, an 80% shooter, but off on the first.
That keeps the door open for the Trojans. An 80% free throw shooter, as you said, missing a free throw there. And Troy will ice him and set up their play with this possession.
76-74, Austin Peay. 12 seconds in overtime as we come down the late stretch. Austin Peay answered Troy's three-pointer that took the lead with a three-pointer from Glotta of his own. Zach Glotta is a senior. My gosh, he has shot the ball well from outside. He's got 5 three-pointers, none bigger than that one just a moment ago.
Well, we talked about he came in shooting 51% from three-point range, and I'm telling you, that is no joke. He shows the long-range jumper, and he's got just that shooter's touch. You hear that, and the ball just stays around the rim, just nestles in, and that was a big answer. And Troy down 3 here as the free throw is made.
Troy needs a tray down the stretch. He'll give Miller the bucket, the layup if he wants. Here's Rogers, can't tie it up. Gum gets the rebound with 2 seconds to go. And Austin Peay looks like they're going to get out of here with an overtime win.
Well, they've been tested in this kind of situation, and they come through here. You can see that's a team that has left it all out on the floor, and they're going to finally get one in overtime here against the homestanding Trojans.
Zach Glotta, three-pointer, gave them the lead. Gum is trying to add to it with seconds to go, and he does. 6 for Dayton Gum. App State's lead is 4 and 5.
It's going to be a solid win for Coach Figger and a well-deserved win. These guys played hard. It was an entertaining ball game, but it'll go final in favor of the Governors.
It took an extra period before it was decided, but Austin Peay has won it 79-74. They get a big road win and head back on the road on Saturday. So for Jerry Miller, I'm Barry McKnight saying so long from Trojan Arena in Troy, Alabama, where the final score in OT, Austin Peay 79 and Troy 74. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.